And to please take his faith down. But, and then the bad part about it is he won't take his faith down. He refuses to. And he told that man that he is going through white guilt. He told that man that that was it, and the man said, you are part of the problem. You are causing more racial divide. Because I don't want to be associated with any of you. Anybody from the J6, any of you Trumpers, any of you. From the J6, any of you Trumpers. Yeah, no, I got you. He said, you need to stand beside me so we can fight this quote unquote black culture. And he said, I don't want to be part of any of it. Take my son's face down. He argued that up and down. I was like, you have one son, you have one child who just lost his twin brother. Another child that's afraid to go to school, afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because they're afraid, she's afraid of what happened. Two families are both getting, threats on their family. While at the same time, nobody cares. They're making everything political. It's political, and at the same time, it's all about two children, which we know how boys can be. But at the same time, he was protecting himself, and I want people to understand. Yes, it was. He could have been handled better, probably. But all he knew was, right now, I'm protecting myself from people who is trying to harm me. And we're talking about the state of Texas.
And that's
make it political about race. You're absolutely right. The adults did. It wasn't even a racial issue. It was about just boys. It wasn't even a racial issue.
No, and that's what I'm saying. It's not like we saying that he deserved to be unalive. Nobody said that. The thing is that for the most part, for the existence of the country, and 𝐏𝐻𝐼𝐴𝐚 talked about that. For the most part, we have a different lived experience, and we have a different reaction when we're around law enforcement, and they react to us differently. That's not conjecture. That is fact. It's been studied in fact. And y'all know me. I don't deal in conjecture. If you can't provide evidence, it don't exist. But that's what that thing. And that's a hot button topic, but we need to keep the pressure on so that he won't get railroaded. That's the key. We need because we're not going to get justice if we be quiet, and we're not being quiet about that.
We also understand that in every stand your ground state that we can't stand our ground.
No, we're not allowed to defend ourselves. We just got to take it, and that's an excellent point. You just got to take it, and that's an excellent point. So with that being said, I'm going to go to my main man Dabs. Dabs, you were a special education instructor, and you taught children with autism. So you have a insight on how school discipline and how things are done at school. Did you see any difference between the way children were placed in special ed, or the way children of different ethnicities were disciplined?
Oh boy. Being in the system for such a long time, yeah, I've seen it all. Like you said, from placement to how kids are treated. And it depends on locations as well. I've worked in special education in Washington as well as Florida, so I've seen lots of different variety of how things are done. Let's put it that way. So. How things are done. Let's put it that way. So
understood. Well, welcome to the show, Ghost Hulk. How you doing? Where you from?
Welcome to the show. Doing well, Phil. Thanks for the invite.
Hey, what's up, Go Soul? What's up, Chaos? North Carolina.
Okay, what part?
Hey, Raleigh.
Okay. Trust me, I'm well familiar with the southeastern United States. But just welcome to my show. We talk about everything and anything. We're on here every Tuesday night at 8:30 Eastern with myself and my team, Chocolate Pearl, Apple, and Bean. It's a we're family. We have a family call. We just bring you in, so we call you family. Some of the times, and just saying, some things I don't agree with some people say. I'm not gonna stop them from saying it, but I do appreciate. If I ask you for a fact, I ask you to provide evidence, and a lot of times people don't, and we know that, especially in TikTok land, we know evidence to MAGA is an anathema, to say it at least. You get that on Facebook, you get it on Instagram, you get it on other apps, even on Blue Sky. You get misinformation. However, I try to run a clean show. I try to make sure everybody gets their point across and get heard, and I might ask different questions. So today was an interesting show. This is probably my most people I've had in a while on the live, and I'm happy about that. I want to thank everybody for coming on. But the big thing is I know Chocolate Pearl asked me what was going on, but do you have anything about current events that you want to talk about, Chocolate Pearl? Do you have anything about current events that you want to talk about, Chocolate Pearl?
No, I thought we was going to talk about, the foolishness that's going on in the world. I can't just say United States, but foolishness that's going on, because everybody's attacking everybody, all because of what the United States is currently doing in the administration. But no, I don't have any particular topic, but I do think that we have any particular on what's going on today and not make assumptions, and also, stick with the facts of everything. We have our own opinions, and I love that. But some things that, some people experience, a certain thing in their life, and other people's experience something else in their lives. So we have to remember that we are people who have opinions, and we also have different lives. And you don't know exactly what you're going through. So when someone expresses themselves about how they feel or what's going on with them, we need to respect that. How they feel or what's going on with them, we need to respect that.
I agree. Somebody in my TikTok said something that's very poignant, and it deals with me personally because I have a special needs child. 𝐅𝐸𝐿 Jr. is talking about doing a national autism registry. If y'all don't know, my middle son is severely autistic. I love him to death. He made me a better person. But what is the purpose of a national autism registry? We don't want to register guns, but we want to register people with autism. Make that make sense. What do you think, Chaos?
Exactly.
Make that make sense. What do you think?
It's just like they did in Germany. It's just like they did when they registered the Jewish people.